Hello, welcome to the LewAllen Galleries in Santa Fe, New Mexico. My name is Justin Ferate, and today we have for you a very special exhibition, the figures of Pablo Picasso. Picasso was, by his own nature, a storyteller. And as a storyteller in his artwork, Picasso used the figure as a way to push on his own artistic boundaries. And in so doing, you experience Picasso as the artist and Picasso as the human. We'll see works such as this print of Venus and Eros, this classical tale re-envisioned by Picasso, or based on other literary sources from a famous Spanish novel from the time of Isabel and Ferdinand, La Celestina, a body novel, rather interesting, in which Picasso felt very much like one of the characters in the story. And of course, what is looking at the work of Picasso without understanding the women who transformed not only his life, but his work? This work, Salome by Picasso, is one of his earliest prints and is a very valuable and very important work. It's part of a series called Saltimbanque, which means street performer. The work itself is based on a poem by Picasso's very good friend, Guillaume Apollinaire, and it tells the story from the Bible of Salome dancing for her stepfather, King Herod, and the other story of the beheading of John the Baptist. It's a very powerful work, very sinuous work, and a very important work. Apollinaire told Picasso, "You must be a saltimbanque, like those street performers that you live next door to. You must become personalities. You must change your characters. You must be different people." And indeed, you can see that in this work here, where you can see Picasso in the role of a saltimbanque. He is playing on his lute to his beloved. This is from a story. Remember, Picasso was very literate, of a work called Le Cuckold Magnifique, which translates as the magnificent cuckold. Picasso has great fun because here he plays the young man playing the lute for his beloved, an aubade, which is a wake-up song. Let me lull you from your sleep and bring you this wonderful honeyed present. And so you see in this work this magnificent figure of the saltimbanque. Critical to the understanding of Picasso's work is the fact that he's very autobiographical. The women in his life play a tremendous part of what he would actually create. It's like looking into an open diary. You get a sense of where the relationship is at, what the emotions are that are involved. And this is one to which I strongly respond. This is an image of what is called femme au fauteuil, or femme au fauteuil means woman in an armchair. This is not an armchair. This is right out of classical Spanish painting. You see this character sitting in a throne. She rules the world. She's wearing a bandana that looks like an Egyptian headdress. This is a woman with whom one must contend. And it's a very emotional response to Françoise Gillot, with whom Picasso had 2 children. But Françoise Gillot was a very definite and very firm personality, and one senses in this work a tremendous amount of power and self-certitude on the part of the woman being portrayed. Jacqueline Roch would be the second wife of Picasso, and he remained with her longer than any other woman in his life. Indeed, one of the things that Picasso loved most about Jacqueline Roch was her classic appearance. He has a very strong classical nose, and he captures that attraction. The colors echo ancient history. One senses knossos, one senses ancient Greece. Jacqueline Obando, Jacqueline with a headscarf, is consummately Picasso. This is a figure of Picasso's lover during the 1930s, during the era of World War II, Dora Maar, who was a very talented surrealist photographer. So I think it's very intriguing that Picasso depicted her in a somewhat surrealist manner. The figure is quite fascinating in how the anatomical parts are in very curious positions. The work is a technical tour de force. It took 4 plates to create, using a special sandpaper technique, to create this remarkable, remarkable dry point. Picasso always viewed it his obligation to think like a child. He said, "It took me years to learn to be a child." And indeed, it is that childlike sense of wonder, the sense of possibilities that always intoxicated Picasso. So every time he would take on a new medium, he would push it and push it and push it in a new direction in a way that he hadn't tried before. He did the same thing with the figures that he portrayed. He was constantly reinventing, re-examining, and this is really the genius of Picasso. The genius of Picasso is curiosity. Thank you very much for being with us today. I think you'll agree with me that this is a remarkable array of the many different ways that Pablo Picasso examined the image artistically. Please feel free to contact any of the staff members at LewAllen Galleries if you have any questions. And until then, I bid you adieu.